Welcome back. We saw the basics for pivot tables, and now we will see how to explore advanced features that will take your pivot table game to the next level. We saw how to drag the salesperson column into the rows, or we can play also on the category by dragging to the columns field. And now we will go further and explore another option of pivot tables, which is more advanced. So I will undo the filter option and I will go back to the initial format of our pivot table. And we will start to add and create a slicer. Slicers let you filter visually and interactively your pivot table. So for this, I will click anywhere in our pivot table, insert, and here in the filters tab, you have slicer button. And here we will choose the column from our table that we want to play and filter. You can choose category, click OK, and now the slicer appears here as a menu and a navigation menu, which is very easy to use. I will exclude the category from our columns for this exercise. And now I will hit fonts and you see the figures change. Now in the slicer, I can clear the filter, or also we can make selection by holding Control and select more options. Now we have phones and tablets, or I can simply click on laptops, and again, if we didn't hold the control button, the control keyboard, the selection changed. And now I will hold Control, laptops and phones. So here we have all the figures excluding the last option from our slicer. I will clear the filters, and now if I will double click, right click here on the category, I have slicer settings. Another option is to play with size and properties. For example, I can make it small in terms of height, in terms of width, in terms of scale, and so on. So it's very easy to play and to change the figures in the pivot table based on your slicer. Now I will keep it here and I will go back to our pivot table. So pivot table, analyze, I have the filter list here. Now I want to play with a filter and I will show you how to create and to group in the rows the date filter. So you see now I will select all the dates, and here I have the option to group by quarters, years, or months. So it's easy to play. If I will select month, okay, you see it's Jan. It's only Jan here because in our database we only have January, but I can change some dates here. I'll put it Feb, March, and April. And if I will go back and right click refresh, you see we have also the other months here. I can also change to quarters and it's more easy to see in all the figures. You can have subtotals by quarter. So this is another good option to play with to group your figures based on months, quarters, or even years to analyze trends over time. Another option in our pivot table is to right-click on the values, and you can sort them from smallest to largest or from largest to smallest. I will click the second option, and you see that the bigger value is up. Now I want to add a new column directly in our pivot table, and for this I can go to Pivot Table Analyze, Calculations tab, Fields, Items and Sets, select Calculate field, and I will name it Bonus, and the formula for this field will be, I will erase 0, I will keep the equal sign, and then I will double click on total sales and I will multiply by 5%. I will click add. If I will go OK, you see you have the calculated field directly inserted in the pivot table. In the next step, we can see the values in another format. So we can show value as a percentage of the grand total. Show value as, so if you right click on any value, you can show it as percentage of grand total. So this is another option in the pivot table when you want to see different type of calculations. So this shows each region or category as a percentage of total sales. You can also change the layout to tabular or outline form by going to Design tab on our pivot table, Report Layout, and you have Show in Tabular form. And now you see that Excel will give us another column for quarter, and also I can repeat all the items in the table. For sure, you can hide or show subtotals just like we did earlier, and you can also explore and change the grand total design. You can put off for even for rows or for columns, or you can go back and select be on only for rows. You see, in our case, we don't have here total, but if we will add only for columns, we will see the total in the line 9. Now you know how to filter, group, or even format inside the pivot table. So try combining all these features for deeper insights. Thanks for watching. See you in the next lesson.